What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Frankenmuth Farms here on Farming Simulator 22. So happy to be back on Frankenmuth. As last episode, we made a ton of good progress. I hope you guys have been enjoying the Frankenmuth Farms series. And if you are excited for this episode and been enjoying the series, be sure to drop a like, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking about the series. Subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell so you don't miss any future content. And first and foremost, let me just go ahead and apologize for the snafus lately with the live stream schedule. Life has just kind of been getting in the way a little bit. I've got a lot of things that are happening outside of content creation that are taking up some time and really kind of just being a hindrance and an absolute nuisance to my schedule. But we're making do. We are surviving. May have to look at adjusting the nights that we do some live streams because I will be working weekends here periodically a little bit more throughout the upcoming months and in the future. So doing live streams on Saturday nights may not always be the best option for us. But nonetheless, we're going to take a look at what we can do throughout the week in order to get some live streams out there for all of you to continue to enjoy and be a part of. Again, greatly appreciate everyone's support lately. We eclipsed 750 subscribers to the channel. It's absolutely insane to think about. We're closing in on 1,000. Cannot wait to get to that point. We got to figure out something to do though to celebrate 1,000 subscribers. So if you have some ideas, within reason, if you have some ideas, drop them below down in the comment section. Let me know what you're thinking, what we should do for the 1,000 subscriber special. Well, folks, you already know it wouldn't be a Frankenmuth Farms episode if we didn't go out and do some contract work here to make some money. Now, we do have to harvest this oat field here back in field 21. We picked that contract up at the end of the last episode, but there is an $11,000 fertilizing contract that's on the market right now that we just picked up. So we're going to head over to field 41. We're going to get the fertilizing contract completed on that, collect up on the money that we're going to be owed for that contract. Then we're going to make our way back and we're going to get into harvesting field 21. Now, I've been thinking about purchasing the grain mill, but then again, I stop and I think about it and I'm like, I really don't have a field that supports us even having the grain mill, to be completely honest. We don't have a wheat field, we don't have a sorghum field, we don't have an oat field. However, there's gonna be something I'm gonna share with you guys that I'm kind of thinking about that we might take a look at doing, and it also accomplishes one of the main goals that we have for here on Frankenmuth Farms, and that is purchasing one of the fields that are close to our house. Now, the only downside to purchasing that field is going to be it's pretty much going to break the bank for us. We're going to be pretty much flat out broke once that is done if we were to go that route, so I'm a little hesitant to actually partake in that. But the other side of it is we have clothing in production. We have a lot of our other sell points or our other productions are doing very well, in which are going to help make us a lot of money. Now, the baling contract for Field 10 did pop back up. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. If I do the baling contract for Field 10, I'm probably going to do it off camera. We have baled that field probably 5 times throughout this whole entire series, and I don't feel like you guys need to be subjected to watching me bale that field yet again. But it is a good moneymaker. It's $42,000 to bale that field, and it's been very lucrative for us. But more to follow on all the decisions that we may end up making in this episode here. I'm going to go ahead and get field 41 completed with the fertilizing contract, and then we're going to get everything set up so that we can start knocking out the harvesting contract on the oat field over in field 21 close to the house. With that contract complete, Evelyn Carson now grants us a 10% discount on future field purchases, which is good because that is the business that we are looking to get into. We need to start purchasing some more fields. We need some more crop that we can utilize for some more productions, damn it. Well, one thing I realized that we can definitely take care of here real quick is all of these eggs that we have over here. I almost kind of forgot about our chickens. So we have 3,000 full, no, I'm sorry, 4,000 liters and some 4,000-ish liters of eggs. Anyways, let's see how much our 4,000 liters of eggs are going to go for if we were to sell these right now. I'm not saying that we're definitely going to, but taking a look, eggs, we're looking at $7,000. I mean, that's not super. I mean, we can continue to wait. That's not a pressing deal that we must sell everything for. Our soybeans are starting to stock back up. Our cotton is looking very good, actually, which if we did, I guess, want to sell cotton, we could, but a lot of that's heading over to our spinnery. We have clothing. Look at this. We have 2,100 liters of clothing, and we already have $16,000. Now, the best time to sell is going to be May, which is perfect because we just surpassed May. So by the time we get through the summer and back into the wintertime, May is going to be here again before we know it, and we'll have even more clothing at that point. We have a lot of sunflower oil that's doing very good as well. March is going to be the best time to sell for our sunflower oil. This is looking pretty good. This is exactly what we wanted to have happen, is we wanted to get into a position where we were going to start making more money around the farm. Now, as far as field purchases, let's take a look and see what we're thinking about for fields. So field 13, 12, or farmland, no, I'm sorry. Field 13, 12, and 21 are the three primary fields that we're looking to purchase. All said and done, each one of these farmlands, if they were purchased, would cost us, that's about $500,000 right there, but that's Evelyn Carson. Now, the difference in the 5% increase that we just got, because we were previously at 5% with her, now we're at 10%. This field alone was almost $540,000 before we did that fertilizing contract. And the extra 5% that we gained dropped it all the way down to 511. Now, are we anywhere remotely close to being able to afford that field? Absolutely not. But we are very close to being able to afford farmland 21 or field 13, which is one of the fields that we've been looking at acquiring. Now, the thought process that I have here is if we picked up farmland 21, field 13, we could, in essence, combine it with field 14 up here in farmland 23 and basically just plow across this little median here that we have and connect these two fields into one larger field. You can see here the expected yield potentials are not that far off. There's no silty clay up in field 23, but there is some silty clay out here in field 21. Now, what I'm hoping is that the silty clay travels to the west and ends up over here in field 28, that it does not travel east, which it looks like it probably does, and gets into field 22. And then field 20 or farmland 20 doesn't look too bad over here, but this is the field initially that we're looking at. Now, the other option that we have is we could go with farmland 12 or field 11 for a fraction of the cost, $155,000. Farmland 13 at $120,000, which is basically the same price as farmland 21. But that would surround us here. We could, even if we really wanted to, we could pick up 53 and 51, which is where we've been thinking about putting some additional animal pens, such as cows, maybe put some sheep over here. And this would kind of just be our livestock area. And then whether we end up purchasing farmland 12 and 13 is completely optional. Yeah, we got some decision points that we're going to be hitting here soon. The other option that we have is once we harvest field 14, which should be coming up, we should be very close to getting ready to harvest field 14. Yeah, it's looking like August. We're going to be able to harvest field 14. So probably in the next episode, we're going to be harvesting the canola field. And at that point, if we really want to, ladies and gentlemen, what we can do is just flip the field. We'll sell it. And then we'll purchase field 21 or field 13. I'm sorry. Field 13. Field 21, I wish we had that kind of money. Field 13 would be the one that we would purchase. And then that way we'd have an even larger field to deal with. But the nice thing is we can actually afford field 13. By the time we get done, let's go ahead and collect on the fertilizing contract that we just did, because that's done and completed. So there's $11,000 income right there. By the time we get done with the harvesting contract, we technically could purchase field 13. Just saying. It's definitely there. It's an option. We have some additional harvesting contracts if we really wanted to make some extra money that way. And again, we're going to kind of camp on this baling contract here on field 10. But again, $41,000 is so worth it, especially if we're about to make that big purchase and trying to put some money back into our bank account. But without further ado, I think what we need to do is we need to jump in the old Kloss combine harvester over here, and we need to get moving on field 21, get the contract completed. Let me bump the game time back up here just a little bit. Let's get back up here to our 5 times multiplier. And yeah, we got our hands full for the month of July. Let's go ahead and get started. we are finishing up on the harvesting contract for field 21. We are on our final trip over to the grain mill to deposit the last, which should be about 40 to 41,000 liters of oat to finish out the contract. And at which point we're just going to sell the rest of it that's in the trailer as well. That way we can just make a few extra bucks off of this contract. Let's go ahead and start tipping this over. Now, I realized too, we need to get some maintenance done for our case tractor. The maintenance is getting down there a little low for us. So here we are, we're in money-making mode, and we are $252,000. Now, full disclosure, I did end up leasing a combine harvester that had a bit of a higher capacity for in its hopper, because yeah, the class that they gave us was only holding 10,500 liters, and I'm going to tell you what, that field was taking entirely way too long. So we ended up leasing a larger combine harvester that pretty much allowed us to get the field done all in one swipe there. So that's the final delivery for that contract. We are going to go ahead, turn this in, collect an additional $24,000. Done deal. That is over with. Now, there is another really nice harvesting contract that just popped up for $29,000. There's also another one for $21,000. So, I mean, that right there alone is $50,000 extra dollars just in harvesting contracts. And I just returned the larger capacity combine harvester. I mean, that $50,000 though, that could go a long ways for us. That could go a very, very long ways. Now, we do have a seeding contract. That doesn't look too bad. Spraying contract, again, not horrible. And then some of the supply and transport contracts. Really not getting anything good in the supply and transport realm. But I'm definitely thinking about these two contracts here. This is very tempting. An additional $50,000. I mean, that puts us up minus some leasing costs. Because, again, I would absolutely lease a larger capacity combine to get those fields done. But yeah, I mean, $50,000 after the leasing fees, we're still going to be north of $300,000 if we were to take those harvesting contracts there. But I do want to try something a little bit different. Now that we finished up the contract here on the oat field, I did straw swaths on the oat field. Now, I'd like to go back and be able to pick those up. Not saying we're going to make a ton of money, but it is some additional income that we would be able to make. So we're going to make our way back over. We're going to lease a forage wagon. We're going to pop out onto the field, and we're going to hope. Oh, I turned the contract in already. No. Complete lapse of judgment right there. Complete lapse of judgment. I totally wanted to come back and pick up all of the straw that was left on that field. Dang it, man. I got into a hurry of wanting to turn in the contract to make the money. That is a mental error right there. Not at all what I wanted to do. Oh well, I guess we'll just we'll cut our losses on that. That's unfortunate. I mean, with that, it does bring into question, because these two fields here we could pull straw swaths off of. We really could. And if I lease the combine harvester and then accept these contracts, I should be able to still use it on both of these fields. Oh, man. Decision time. I'll tell you what. I think we're going to hold off on that. We may do a part 2 to the July episode, because those contracts right there are just way too good to pass up. I want the extra money. I want all of that, the $50,000. This can be really nice to add to our bank account. Chickens, on the other hand, they're doing pretty well. They have 2,800 liters of feed left. They're producing eggs at a pretty good rate here for us. We need to get some of these pallets moved out so we can get some more that will spawn in. The soybeans, our silo is empty. Let's see, what do we have over here in our transport bag? We have 1,000 liters in here, so that's still filling up. Cotton's still distributing over to the spinnery, which it also says we have 35,000 liters. Is our open air garden for cotton? It is distributing. Okay, well, I just wanted to double check. That had me a little freaked out. I thought maybe somehow, some way it reverted back over to storing. Yeah, the spinnery is full. How's the tailor shop doing? Plenty of fabric. Yeah, this is good. This is like the perfect perfect supply chain here. The cotton going over to the spinnery sending the fabric over to the tailor shop. That is absolutely perfect. A few things that I want to do here just to kind of close out the episode around the farm is I'd like to put down a fuel blivet. I do realize that that is something that we definitely need. And what we'll do is we'll just do something. We'll probably just go with something like this, the large petrol tank. You know what? Honestly, we'll save ourselves a little bit of money. We could even go with something like this right here. Shop area restricted. Yeah, I need to reset that. That is kind of getting to be a bit of a nuisance here. Wonder if maybe we just go ahead and kind of like set it maybe a little bit like back over here in this area. I don't feel like that's going to look too god-awful sitting right there. So let's just go ahead and do that. $16,000 for that. We'll get that filled up. And then I also would like to put down some of these fertilizer silos as well. So that way we have an area here where we can just pull our own fertilizer in bulk, basically spend whatever it is that's going to cost us to fill these up. The only question becomes is where are we going to put these that actually makes sense to put these? I feel like we're kind of running out of space over here behind the barn here. This would have likely have been the perfect area to put items like this, but we've already kind of made we've made our bed. Now we kind of got to lie in it with that one there. So maybe what we do is we kind of just put these silos over here by this tree a little bit. And $23,000, it's not, then you got to think though, you got the fee to actually fill that up. Let's hold off on that. We will, however, come over here and fill up our diesel fuel point. All right, so to fill it up is $20,000. To go 10,000 liters is 13, 5,000, 68. We'll just go with 5,000 liters for right now. I feel like that's still gonna get us pretty far. And we'll whip on over here with the case tractor and get this filled up on diesel. Yeah, we are definitely gonna do a part 2 to the episode for July because I do want to take advantage of those other harvesting contracts that we have available. We could definitely use the $50,000 again, especially after putting down the fuel blivet and stuff like that. Those items or those fields are definitely going to bring us in some good extra money. And I think we also need to look at investing into some more farm equipment, such as a combine harvester. I have a couple different modded options that are probably not going to really be in line with what we're trying to do here on a Start From Scratch series. There's some combine harvesters that I kind of tweaked and made some adjustments to the base price. For an example, I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So with the combine harvesters, I have a couple again that when I went in to do some mods on them, I adjusted the price. Like this is the Colossus harvester, which I cannot recommend enough. Again, slightly modded this as well to hold up to, I think it's 1 million liters it holds. Yeah, about 1 million. And also has upwards of 3,050 horsepower. It's absolutely insane. Race edition. Look at the top speed for this combine harvester. 125 mile an hour. We could harvest all of Farming Simulator 22 with this combine in the matter of about 15 minutes. It'd be absolutely insane. But then if I go one more over here, you can see that we basically have the same combine harvester, except without the 3,000 horsepower and the overkill grain hopper. This only holds 250,000 liters. But when I modded it out, I lowered the price down to $75,000. So let me know down in the comment section if you would be okay with something like that, or if you'd rather see me buy like a full price combine harvester, and we'll roll with something like that. I do have some New Hollands in here as well. I have the Lizard twin screw, which is pretty nice, pretty convenient. Holds 29,000 liters, which isn't horrible. And then I have a few other, I think this is the one. Is this the one that, yeah, that's the one right there. Kind of blows apart like that. And then the rear wheels just say, later, I'm out. I've had enough. So it's always fun to watch that one kind of blow apart. But all of these combines right here hold 100,000 liters minus this one. This one's only 50,000. But the other thing I'd like to keep in mind too for down the line is we also have to make sure that we have the correct harvester for sunflowers and corn, as well as for oat, barley, sorghum, so on and so forth. And that's the one downfall to the Colossus harvester is it only has the one header that does wheat, oat, barley, so on and so forth, which for right now is good for us because we only have the canola field, but down the line, I would like to eventually get into a cornfield, sunflower field. So those are some things that we'd have to keep in mind if we did venture out to try to purchase. Now, I do really like this combine harvester here, and plus it does have both the same style heads that we would need, minus, again, the corn header. That one only does sunflowers. So needless to say, we've got some decisions that are going to be coming due that we're going to have to make here around the farm. Combine harvesters being probably one of the more expensive decisions that we're about to make here in the near-term future because, again, we need one. Otherwise, leasing's really not that bad. It's not super expensive. It doesn't necessarily completely break the bank. I think when we leased one of the Colossus harvesters, again, I leased the one that was $70,000, so it cost me about $7,000 plus the leasing fee for the header. It wasn't too bad. Definitely could have been worse, but truthfully, it just saves a lot of time in the work that we're doing on the fields. And it's not like we're actually making any extra money. It's just kind of one of those things like, yeah, we get the work done faster, but we're actually spending more money than what we probably really, Jesus, to repair this is $15,000. Good Lord. It's like $1,000 an hour for the repair fees. Oh, well, we need to do it. We'll go ahead and get that repaired up. So now all of our stuff is repaired, gassed up, ready to go. Let me go ahead and back out of here without ripping the wall off the side of this barn. Other than that, we are kind of right back to where we started the episode at. And that's just the nature of the beast here for what we have going on with this series. But that is going to be about a wrap. So we got the harvest done on field 21. We've made some decent money. We're closing in on being able to afford more fields. The last thing I want to do just before we leave, maybe we just make a little bit of a decision here. These fields are not necessarily huge, but they're not small either. And if I could, I would just combine this field right over here and turn this into one large field. Now, we can afford both of these fields right here, and we may even be able to still afford one of the areas in here because, again, this is where I want our livestock area to be. Let's take a look at our map and see what we have as far as being able to afford these fields. That is super weird. Part of the field is actually 1 month ahead in its growth stage. That's kind of crazy. Huh, that's super unique. That's really weird. I didn't notice that before. But anyways, here's what we'll do. Let's go ahead, take a look here. So $155,000. That's only going to leave us $80,000 left in the bank. We would not be able to afford field 22. So we could do field 11 and then possibly even still do, we'd have enough to do field 11 and field for farmland 53, if you will. That would bring us up to about $225,000. That would leave us with $12,000 left in the bank. I think we're going to hold off on that decision for now. Like I said, we're very close to closing in on and being able to afford farmland 21, field 13, which again, we're getting a 15% discount on. Gianna Hartman, I think actually she is the one with the baling contract, if I'm not mistaken. And if that's the case, again, I will likely do Adrian Hooper is the one with the, is there any contracts for, nope, does not look like there is. I'll probably end up doing this baling contract off camera. We've done this one 7 times. The majority of the jobs that we have done for Adrian Hooper have been the baling contracts for field 10. But again, I'll do that probably off camera. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be a wrap from here on Frankenmuth Farms for this episode. Hope you guys have been enjoying the content. Again, I apologize for some of the delays in getting some of the live streams running up. Hopefully, by the time you're seeing this video, we will have had a live stream to kind of try to make up for the absence that we've had there. I have another Bucks County episode in the works that's going to be coming out later this week. I hope you guys have been enjoying that series as well, too. Again, like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell so you don't miss any future content. And with that, we'll catch you in the next episode.